you're feeling like you're not worthy, you're basically feeling, like lost and something is wrong with you, you are the person I'm talking to today. And I want to talk about self-love. I want to talk about how do we cultivate self-love and basically what is self-love, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So to talk about this subject, I want to just give a very brief backstory. So self-love is something I personally have struggled with for a very long time. And this came from my childhood traumas. This came from the way that I was raised. This came from the words that were used to talk to me when I was a little girl. I think if you have grown in Kenya, back then our parents were very, very like tough on us, and they just used to throw words at us, like words at us and all this. And I remember, when you do something wrong, you'll be called words. Basically, they are calling you stupid. They are saying you don't have value, you don't have meaning, and all these things. And something that we didn't know, and this is something over the past few years I've come to realize, is that those words have such a very, very big impact on our lives that we don't really know at that point. Probably our parents also didn't have any idea, but when you grow up, these things start showcasing themselves, and they start manifesting themselves in the way you behave, in the people you attract, in the way you basically, like you do everything. And also, apart from the childhood traumas, I also know some relationships can be very, very traumatic. And this has caused a lot of women out there also just feel like I'm shit, I'm nothing, because an ex partner you had treated you a certain way, or this person said something to you that stuck with you so deeply without really realizing how deep that word mean, but they stuck with you so deeply that eventually they just start manifesting themselves. I remember I was reminding a friend of mine, we were talking about jewelry, and I was telling her the reason why for the longest time, I've not been a person to do earrings and necklaces and all these things, and she loves jewelry. And how I came to realize I deal with my trauma is that I forget. I have a lot of memories that I don't remember. I have some things that really stuck with me, and I can talk about them now, like I'm reliving that moment. But I have a lot of my childhood, or rather anything that was traumatic for me, I completely, completely forget about it. So this jewelry thing, what happened is we were talking about, and then I'm like, shit, I've remembered. The reason why I don't love jewelries is because I had this certain ex who used to buy me everything when it comes to jewelry, and he would choose them for me to actually wear them. So come be it necklaces, earrings, and all these things. And from that experience, my current experience with jewelry is very, I don't hate them per se, but I wouldn't say I'm a jewelry person. And that's the same thing with the words that our partners, or the things that we go through, probably in that relationship also, this person made me feel worthless. And later on is when I came to realize, oh damn, do you know how much power you have as a human being? Do you know how much power you have as a woman? Those now are the things and the realizations that I've come to basically understand. So self-love probably is something that some of you may have grown with, and you know exactly what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to feel. But there's a number of us out there who need to really learn this. And I'm saying learn this because self-love is a skill that you can love. It's the same way you learn self-respect. It's the same way you learn, basically any skill. And self-love is also a skill that you, if you put in time, if you put in the effort, you are also going to learn it. And I'm here to basically guide you. I'm here to show you and tell you how we can go about this together, not alone, together. So if you look at why self-love is important, so I've written some notes here, so please don't mind me when I look down. First of all, if you have self-love, you're able to also show yourself some kindness. You're also able to show yourself some compassion. You're also able to really see yourself as the highest power that you are. You're able to see yourself as the divinity you are within you, right? And I'm not talking, let me just pause and just say this. I'm not talking about self-love in terms of, today is my self-care day, I'm going to get a manicure, I will do these bath bombs and all that. I know that is a whole industry that is selling self-love and just showing women, also men, that you can, the way to show yourself you love yourself is to take care of yourself externally. Today I want to talk about that inner being of you. That is what I'm talking about. So as I was saying, it is a skill, and basically you can get to learn this skill. I think I'm lost, but yeah, we continue. We move on. So yeah, so the reason why self-love is important, first of all, is because the moment you come to understand the power you hold as a person, then you can deal with anything. So it will help you lower your stress, and it's going to give you so much resilience that you believe that you're capable of overcoming and basically becoming anything and anything that you're capable of becoming. So when you understand yourself, when you really love yourself so deeply, like you have this highest affiliate about yourself, you see yourself as this human and powerful person, there's nothing that anything that comes across you, in your way, because again, this is life is not about love and light. Life is about darkness. It's about hard moments and good moments. But the moment you understand and you love yourself so deeply that you know the power you carry within yourself, then you're able to deal with anything that comes your way. You're able to know that you're resilient, you're strong, and you're capable of overcoming whatever it is that faces you. And then self love is also important because this is something that will also allow you to overcome fear and take up risks. Now, here I'm talking about the good kind of risk, not the bad ones. So you're basically able to, because when you don't have self love, we allow fear to really take control and take over us. So if an opportunity comes across your way and you know you can do this, when you don't have self love, because you do not understand the power you have, because you don't understand how you can do things, then you let that fear of telling you, this one you can't, man, this one, you allow that to take over you, and then you're not able to take even the risk that you have the power to basically take and win and succeed, right? So when you understand yourself and when you understand self-love, then you're able to look at risks as a way of you to challenge yourself to go win or to go learn. And you don't look it from a point of fear where, like, no man, I'm not putting myself through this because of the humiliation, because of the failure and all that. And then thirdly, that is very very important, and this I personally really needed to like learn it and practice it. It's that self-love helps you also set boundaries. So boundaries are very 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 important, and it is very healthy as human beings to learn that. We will have situations where we need to really say no to family, say no to friends and things like that. And I remember when I started saying no, people were like, nowadays you've become a bad person. Nowadays you have, things, this, like that. But it's because I came to realize and I came to understand that me not knowing myself have made me just say yes to everything and anything that comes across. It had made me be a people pleaser. So basically, even family, it had made me be in a place where I'll just give and give and give, and I'm not getting back. And there's this thing about giving and giving. When you are a giver and people know you are a giver and you do not set your limits and you don't set your boundaries, you'll get yourself to a point where you're just giving and giving and giving and you're not getting anything back. You're basically going to drain yourself. You're going to become, empty. You will have emptiness in you. You just give, but you're not feeling fulfilled at the end of the day because you're pleasing these people, but you're not pleasing the inner child in you. You're not pleasing yourself. So setting boundary is very very important, and this, you're going to be able to set boundaries and set healthy boundaries when you clearly and truly understand who you are. So what are some of the signs that you may be going through, you may be having, that will show you that you lack your self-love? So one of them is self-sabotage. Now, this has been me for years and years and years, right? So this is where, again, you will put yourself out there. You will want to do something, But instead of even waiting for people to come and tell you you can't, you're the one who is feeling the you can't within yourself. You're the one allowing yourself not to wake up every day to chase that bag. Okay, now we're saying the bag is chasing us this year. We're not chasing it, it's chasing us. But you get what I'm saying. So you basically become a person who, instead of seeing opportunities, you see limitations. Instead of embracing these opportunities and just embracing the power you have to go for them, you now start looking at things like, nah, I can't. You basically sabotage anything and everything that comes your way. And then the other one is self-pleasing. I've talked about this. So self-pleasing is another. If you're a person who will just say yes, you will just give, you'll just do, just to make the other person happy, not considering how you're feeling, then you also don't love yourself. You're not showing yourself the love that you deserve, the compassion that you deserve, because at the end I know we have been raised in a society where we say put others first and all this. But again, to be honest, I think over the years I've come to realize, put yourself first. Put yourself first. You can't give from an empty cup. And if you just give and pleasing these people and just making them happy and nothing is coming on you or your way, then at some point you're going to be empty. So what are you going to give these people that you've been giving? So self-pleasing, I think the way to really avoid this again is just know yourself, understand yourself, and put yourself first. And then the third thing, this I think with this world we're living in with social media, it's very very common. We're doing it every day, and that is comparison. So comparing yourself to your friends, comparing yourself to the people we see on social media. So basically that what that is saying is you are actually, you envy these other people in the life they're living, and you do not appreciate yourself, your life, and what you currently have. Now comparison, um well, I've done it. I mean, I don't think there's anyone who has never compared themselves with, or rather just looking at social media and like, damn, can't I be that rich sugar mommy just staying at home and getting fed and getting all these things? We do that a lot. And if you are in a place where like that is happening every single time, you don't really look at yourself and appreciate what you have. You're not grateful, you're not showing gratitude to the life you have, you're just basically looking and comparing yourself, then you lack self-love. And then we have negative self-talk. Now negative self-talk is basically, now the thing with self-talk is this. Self-talk, you don't have to sit down and just talk to yourself. You don't have to like speak it out, but it's the inner voice that you hear, it's the inner things that you're telling yourself, right? And I think for the longest time I was in the middle. I was not uh, doing negative self-talk, but I was also not doing positive self-talk, until I realized how you talk to yourself is very very powerful. Who you say you are is very very powerful. So if you look at a situation, I'll say something my sister kept on saying, and that is, when you're using money and you keep on complaining about this money you're using, you're basically showing the universe how limited your power is. Basically you're just like living in lack of abundance, right? But the moment you just start showing gratitude, spend money and be like, damn, it comes to me. It's the same thing as self-love. It's the same thing as positive self-talk. It's the way you want, how do I put this? It's basically what will help you feel nice about yourself. So it's not about you saying out loud, but also the feelings that you internalize, the feelings that you feel when you just maybe look at yourself or you're just alone. How do you talk to yourself? What are those voices that come inside you? So if you have a lot of those negative self-talk, then you lack self-love. And then lastly, on the signs that you lack self-love, another thing I'm going to talk about is the feeling of inadequacy and low self-esteem. Now low self-esteem, sometimes people with low self-esteem will never come to you and tell you you have low self-esteem. This shows by the way they communicate, by the way they do things to others and things like that. So a lot of people, we see a lot of people suffering from low self-esteem, and are the bullies we see on social media. These are the people we see, you'll come with something nice, but they'll never appreciate you even if you're a friend. you'll come looking all hot, or and they're just like, you know nothing, because they're basically, that's how they feel about themselves. No matter how good, no matter what progress you do, no matter how good you are at the things you're doing, you'll never feel anything good coming from these people mouths. So self-esteem is something, I think for you to understand it, you need to really look at how you treat others. You need to look at some of the things you say, even when you see things, when you watch things, when you see your friends and things. Are you a person who really is happy for them, or are you a person who is just like, you know yeah, things like that. And so if you have any, actually I think not any, but if you have several of those signs in you, you're self-sabotaging, you're negative talking to yourself, comparison, if you have a number of those things, then that means there's something that you need to work. You need to learn the skill of self-love. So how do we learn? What is the inner work that we need to do so that we can get to a point where we really feel good about ourselves, we really understand ourselves? So one thing we need to do is know yourself. And not just know yourself, it's know yourself and embrace your uniqueness. We are all created differently. The power I have in me is not the power you have. It's not the power my friend has. It's not the power my sister has. It's totally different. So the moment you learn and understand who you are and embrace that, what makes you unique, don't, I know there's this thing again with social media. There's a common trend, beauty looks like this. Fancy people are wearing this sort of clothes, they are doing this sort of makeup, this kind of hair they're using, and things like this. There's a lot of that. If you are able to understand that what makes me unique is having my natural hair the way I am, what makes me unique is the way I talk, what makes me unique is the gift that I have, love that, embrace that, then you are starting, you step into your self-love journey. So how you do this is to spend time with yourself. Take yourself on a date, just go somewhere alone and just spend time with yourself. Just as dating, when we get into the dating world, or when we are even making friendships, how you get to know the other person is if you spend time with them. There are questions we ask these people. Okay, so your name is this, where were you born, what do you like, and things like that. So date yourself. Date yourself. Intentionally date yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what is that I really like, and this one, just answer yourself. Don't ask another person to give you the answers. The answers are within you. So spend time with yourself. Know who you are, know what you are, know what you like, know how you like it. Answer all those questions. Understand yourself truly, and get to embrace that what makes you you, that what makes you unique. And then we have prioritize self-compassion. So basically, this is you placing yourself, once you understand yourself, you need to extend grace to yourself. You need to treat yourself with a lot of empathy and a lot of kindness. So again, as we said earlier, life is not about love and light, it's about light, it's about darkness, it's about good things. We celebrate, and then we have moments of men, but the moment you start knowing yourself, you need to understand how does empathy and compassion come to you. I.e., I'm saying this because I've seen people who are very bad at being empathetic, and I've always said that empathetic is not saying, there are people who thinks being empathetic is basically throwing the word sorry, and that is not being empathetic. So empathetic is understanding yourself from an inner point. And so once you get to know yourself, and then when you're going through things, you put yourself where you are treating and practicing self-compassion. So anytime, give yourself some grace. Remember, this is a journey that you can't overcome in a day. You need time to process, you need time to learn, and also in your learning, get to learn how does that compassion and how does that empathy look for you. It may be different the way it looks for you, different from how it looks to me, myself. And then that we talked about negative self-talk. So the third thing I want us to do is to nurture positive self-talk. So please Do affirmations. I believe there's so many affirmations online that you can start practicing. You can just write things from the top of your head. One thing personally I've started saying this year, and actually a few months ago, is that, money loves me and it's following me. And it has nothing to do with self-love, but I'm saying this because I have lived in a place of lack of abundance. I mean, what is the opposite of abundance? That one. So I've lived in a moment where I feel like, okay, I have this amount. If I use this amount, it's going to end, and I need to live in a moment where I know I'm very good at making money. And now I'm starting to talk to myself about money, and just every single day I'm talking about how good I am at making money. And as I said, I'm starting also to say I'm not chasing the bag. The bag is chasing me. These are some of the affirmations I'm practicing personally. Why? Because I want to start living in energy of abundance. I want to start living knowing that I have the power to create. I have the power to basically have as much money as I want. So the same thing happens with self-love. So look at those affirmations. Just tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself you are amazing. You are so powerful. I think powerful is one of those things I want each and every person to just remember, especially if you are out there as a woman. We have so much power as women, so much power that we actually recreate. That's the power you have. You have the power to create and change and just become anything. So the moment you understand the power you have, start talking about it, start saying it. Talk to yourself, tell yourself you're beautiful. Just look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey babes, I really, really do love you. You look gorgeous. Don't wait for people to come and tell you these things. Why do you want the validation to come from other people if you can't give yourself that validation? Validate yourself first before you go out there to seek it. Validate yourself internally. Be in a place where even when you're walking, you're just like so proud and you're like, oh my God, I look so gorgeous. I have that habit, to be honest. I never wait. And actually, something I realized is I do not even know how to accept compliments. Why? Because I look at myself and I'm like, good damn, like you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, because you are, and trust me, you are what you say you are. That is what you are. When you're stepping out, when you're going to meet your friends or anything, that voice that you came from the house with, that is the voice you're going with there. If you leave the house not feeling going, you're feeling meh, and you're just like, that is the same energy you're going to bring there. So every single time in the morning when you wake up, just look yourself in the mirror and do like, God took time with me. God gave me this power. God made me to his image. So when you look at yourself, see the God you are. See the power, the divinity that you carry with you, right? So that now is the inner work. So I know there is all these affirmations we have on the outer and external part of it. I love my body, I love my height, all these things, and they are very okay. But remember, for you to really feel powerful, for you to really embrace this, it has to come from inner you. It has to come from the person you are within you, and then it will definitely show up on the outer side. And then we have set boundaries. We talked about this earlier. So when you are on that journey, remember it's okay to isolate yourself for a moment if that needs to be done. If you need some time away from your family, away from your friends, set those healthy boundaries. Stop people pleasing. Stop. Please stop. I think, and that's the reason probably I only have a handful of friends, but it's because I realized that very few people will understand that there are sometimes you need to say no, right? And if a person cannot understand, I'm not feeling like it, so I'm not going to do it. If they can't understand that, then darling, that is not your friend. They are not. If a person cannot understand the reason why you need to take some time off to do something, then they are not your friend. Stop saying yes to every single person. Learn how to set those healthy boundaries. Learn how to be in your own, to be in your own company. Learn how to live in that isolation, just to understand yourself and just to to just get in touch with the person that you are. So those are the few that I had. I didn't realize this video is going to be this long, but those are some of the things that I know will help you cultivate self-love. This is something that we really need to. This is something, the society we are living in, it's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to look at yourself and be like, I'm not them, I'm not that. And it's okay, because you are you. The you are, that's your power, right? Who you are. It's not, there's something I've said before, and that is, the money you have in this world, the cars you're driving or anything, that does not make you you. What makes you you is what you have internally. It's what you have in you. And the moment you get in touch with that, the moment you know that, then nothing can stop you. So let's get inner, let's get in touch with ourselves, let's cultivate self-love, let's celebrate ourselves, let's and please, I'm talking about healthy self-love. I'm not talking about narcissism and egoistic sort of love. Please, please. So that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched until this point, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for your support. Remember, please to subscribe, like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys on the next one.